It's that time of year again, tax season. And oddly, even though we do it every single year, it is something that I find to be stressful every single year. Maybe that's just me. I worry that I'm going to do something wrong, I'll file incorrectly, or I'm going to owe a ton of money for last year. And like I said, that's just me. I'm not self employed, I don't own a small business. So, to help you navigate tax time, Mark Wino is here with us. He has gathered a list of some of the very best tax preparing places, online or in person, to help you guys figure this out if you're self employed or own a small business. So, Mark, thank you so much for sifting through all of this information. I'm sure it was a lot. I'm just going to let you jump in and get going right away.
Probably a good idea, Beth. I mean, there's a lot of information here. Well, fortunately, this year, tax season 2022, which incidentally ends April 18th, not the 15th, but the 18th, which means that you get the extra weekend to do, for last minute filers, get to do their last minute filing. You got the good weekend for that. But the interesting thing about this year is that it's not as stressful as last year. Last year, there were all sorts of exceptions due to COVID and what have you. And self-employed Americans had to really figure out what they were going to do to deal with their expenses of working from home and what they have to file. Well, this year it's a little bit easier because now that even though we're still under the pandemic, there are certain rules and regulations that have kind of been worked into this year's tax forms. And this year's tax software programs have taken that into account. And in fact, a lot of the tax programs that we've reviewed that are specifically for self-employed and small and medium-sized businesses, well, these tax companies really want your business, and they're willing to go the extra step to help you file your taxes in a way that's easy and affordable. So just to start off first, the big one on our list, we found 5 that we really liked. And the first one on is TurboTax Self-Employed. Prices range $89 if you're filing federal and $39 per state. And the nice thing about TurboTax is TurboTax. They have a strong brand they've had for many years. They're very recognizable, clearly. But they're also very much keen about helping out with the self-employed and with small, medium businesses. And so, for example, they support Schedule C, which for you self-employed folks, if you have your own business, it's the profit and loss form that you have to file. And in addition, home business expenses, health coverage, and small employer pension forms are included. So TurboTax is really providing as many forms as they can to help you for self-employed and also if you have a small business. Also, last year, 1099 NEC forms were newly reworked. And there was concern last year about some of these tax filers that they were able to integrate that in. Well, this year, given a year time, 1099 NEC forms are available for filing for working your taxes in, and you can use them. These are the forms that you use to pay your subcontractors if you have a small business, or if you receive payment as a contractor for your client. So these are the forms that you have to fill out. The nice thing also about TurboTax is that you can snap a picture of the 1099 NEC form and automatically load it up into the software. One of the things that we like overall about TurboTax is that it's the most extensive hand-holding tax software program available. It really is a smooth way to get you through those expenses and itemizing your expenses. And it's also the most extensive platform to support for downloads too, which we like. Unfortunately, there are some downsides to TurboTax. One thing, it's pricey, $89 for federal filing and $39 for each state. It's pricier than many of the other offerings we have on our list. It also features, the features such as uploading tax documents can be a little bit hard to locate. There is some issue with that. And also the self-employed version, again, $89 is expensive, but there are less expensive alternatives on our list. And speaking of which, our next one on the list is TaxAct Self-Employed. And unfortunately, though, it's not as rich as TurboTax when it comes to the hand-holding process. It's not as easy to get around. However, at $64.95, it's a pretty affordable option. the self-employed version, that is. The program delivers a fairly effortless preparation on its online program. So for those who have a little bit of experience with their own profit and loss statements over the years, there's some familiarity there with the tax rules. The program is pretty good as a quick breeze through of putting together a filing. So that's one benefit to it. And some tax forms are not finalized. It may not be so for another month to keep in mind because of so many changes that have been going on over the past year. Some state filings, but also federal filing forms are a little bit behind schedule. However, TaxAct is offering live human CPA assistance, expert assistance, and can help you through those kinds of processes. Again, when it comes to finalizing of forms, TaxAct will get you fairly well along with their software program. So as best as you can right now, if you're an early filer, get as much as you can get done. TaxAct will help you out as much as possible up to this point. However, there are some downsides to this, to TaxAct, and the clear language on the web is one of the issues that we think would stands for improvement, as well as explaining some of its ins and outs of filing. Things such as expensing versus depreciating properly is a little bit of a sticky wicket for TaxAct. But overall, the pros are that it's it's an efficient design for those familiar with the details of income and expense itemization. It's cheaper than some of the other offerings, especially TurboTax. And also there's free live assistance, which is always a good thing. If you have a question at the last minute, get on the call and somebody will help you out there. Again, the cons are that some web pages can be rather cryptic in their descriptions and may cause a little more head scratching than you'd like. And some of the state preparation, the cost of preparing state filings, which is $44.95 per state, is the highest of any of our software packages that we've reviewed. Speaking of cost, our third option, which is a lot more affordable, is the FreeTaxUSA. And as the title suggests, the federal filings are free. However, it's only $14.99 if you're filing per state. And that's a great value. The company promises on their website, you'll see it says customers get the same business write-offs, the same calculations, and the same tax refund as more expensive services. And that's true. FreeTaxUSA offers a deluxe add-on also, if you so choose, that adds the ability to get priority in a chat queue. So you can cut the line and get media assistance, and that's for $6.99. So that's not going to bust your wallet at all. Again, we like it because it's very inexpensive. Unfortunately, though, it does lack a mobile option, a downloadable offerings compared to our other offerings, and there's a lack of extensive human assistance with programs like TurboTax, which is more extensive experience or extensive options. Again, some of the bigger firms offer bigger services, and another one is Jackson Hewitt. You've probably heard of Jackson Hewitt. You see their commercials all the time. They're doing a really big push for advertising now, as people are really starting to get conscious about filing their taxes. And their online tax pro service is one that we really like. For one thing, it's either offered as a web or a mobile app. Which is unlike most other tax offerings. And it gives you a real live human being to assist you via telephone or a secure chat channel, and for an unlimited number of sessions too. So if you have follow-up questions, you don't have to worry about paying extra for that. And it helps prevent you feeling like you're holding the bag and that you're left alone. So there are people there who can help you out. They do emphasize the time savings aspect of it, as well as the certainty and the flexibility of the human element. So they're trying to combine the best of both worlds, as both doing online as well as getting help from a live person. And Online Tax Pro this year has gotten rid of their tiered pricing, which honestly was very confusing in years past. And there were all sorts of different options, which you could never find it centrally located. However, this year it's one flat fee of $99, and the company pledges to handle return of any complexity with that fee. So if you really got a lot of items there and you've got a specialized business, you don't have to worry about whether or not you've got somebody who can help you out there. They got you covered. They also offer a lifetime accuracy guarantee. This is something else we like, with reimbursement of penalties and interest in the case of a preparation error. All right. Obviously, everybody's worried about that one little number that's left off. And I know, like everyone else, I'm like that too. If I file my taxes and I go through proofing it 5 times and I see one little mistake after the fact too, I mean, I lose sleep. But no, Jackson Hewitt really does help out with that. And overall, we love the simple pricing. We think the extensive network of physical offices, should you want to have a real live meeting with a preparer, is great. They do offer their services at Walmart, so you can drop off your filings there as well too and get some help there. And it's just they do their best to try to compete with bigger firms like H&R Block and with TurboTax as well in the online tax prep services. The lack of a mobile downloadable offering, though, however, is one drawback to Jackson Hewitt. But for what you're getting paid, what you're paying for, and the service you're getting, I think it's pretty good. And speaking of H&R Block, of course, we can't forget H&R Block, and they obviously are the granddaddy of tax prep services, and their self-employed option is also very reputable as well. They do still offer in-person professional help, but the company stresses that you can both file and even run your payroll using its software. So they've obviously spent money over the years to do this. Their self-employed option is the top of H&R Block's online filing option. It costs $84.99 for federal filings. If you're doing state filings, it's $36.99 per state. And as with TurboTax and others, you can start free and pay when you file, which is really nice. If you decide that you want help from a pro, that's also available too. And the self-employed online assist option starts at $144.99. So you're going to pay about $60 extra from the online filing option. But then again, you've got the help of H&R Block professionals who can really who really have a solid reputation of helping their clients really get the most out of their taxes. As an alternate to the web version, however, Block offers downloads, which is really nice too. Their premium and business software for Windows, which is for $79.95, is the version it recommends for small businesses. So if you are a small business owner, go with that option, the premium and business software for Windows. That package has additional capabilities too, such as the option to manage your payroll year-round, which is really nice if you have a small business. So overall, we like H&R Block because it's simple and straightforward with its pricing. It's got extensive network and offices. If you decide that you want to meet with a human being, go online, see where your local office is. And it's downloadable. It has downloadable and mobile apps that are really convenient to use. So those are nice. The only downside is that the self-employed package is fairly pricey. It's close to $85. So it's among the most expensive on our list. Finally, the last on our list is eFile.com Premier. There are 3 different services. Premier is the top tier of eFile.com. eFile emphasizes the economy of its approach relative to TurboTax and H&R Block. So the Premier Edition, which is one of the most suited for business owners, is only $35 plus $28 per state. So it's one of the most affordable options. The package includes not just straight business income, but also investment income, rental property income, and the myriad of income from partnerships enclosed in the IRS's Schedule K1, which is really nice. They have all this available. The Premier version also offers live assistance via telephones, web chat, or email. So you have options of connecting with a live person. And these are tax support specialists, as the company refers to them. They're not CPAs, however. So the company will also step in with human assistance in the event of an audit. So should you get a letter in the mail requesting an audit, we don't want that, but it happens. eFile.com can help you out there. Now, keep in mind, though, the software is web only, so there's no other option out there.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for doing this for us. It's incredibly helpful that you have compiled this list. As always, we have this in text form down below. We've got our article linked. You can see a little bit more information. It has links to all of the places that Mark mentioned. We've got those links right down below too to make it super easy. If you have a great success story with one of these places or a nightmare story, just something that it would keep me up at night. It caused you so much stress, so many issues. Let us know. We'd love to hear about it. We'd love to hear your experiences. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stick with ZDNet for all things tech.